In the crypto space, Twitter is probably the main social media platform. They call it crypto Twitter. And one of the biggest platforms to be integrated with Twitter is Twitter Spaces. My closest friend in the planet is next up. He's the co-founder of Super Spaces alongside me, and he will be talking about Twitter Spaces, why you should be paying attention, and why you should care. Please put your hands together for the man, the myth, the legend, Frederick Rustler.
Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Can I get whoop whoop? Let's go! Okay, awesome. I'm happy y'all are awake. Oops, I'll go back. I go by the name of Fred. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Super Spaces AI, and today I will share a few secrets that I've learned over the last 2 years when it comes to online community building. And how hot is community building right now? There's not a person that I meet in this conference that doesn't tell me, oh yeah, community, that's the most important thing of a project. And some community managers will command more in salary than your developers. And today we will share a few secrets, 2 secrets to be precise. And they'll be very much revolving around Twitter Spaces and live audio as a platform. Before I start, let's do a quick vibe check by show of hands. Who has been in a Twitter Space before? Okay, very good. For those that haven't, think of it like a co-creating moment for a podcast where you have, several speakers that you can put up on stage. You can have diverse voices represented, and create a amazing experience, amazing content together with the community. Now, we're based in the Algarve. I work together with a team of 5 Mavericks day and night. We've built the first growth analytics tool for Twitter Spaces, and why that is exciting and relevant for you is what we're going to talk about today. But before that, we're going to loop it back a little bit. We're going to talk about one overlooked opportunity, an overlooked trend that started maybe 2010 till now. And I want to see if this is familiar to you guys, if this soundbite that you're going to hear, if you recognize this.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
By show of hands, who knows this sound? All right, actually a few less podcasters than Twitter Spaces people here. That's exciting. I bring this to you because the Joe Rogan phenomenon, this is a Joe Rogan podcast, is something to pay attention to. About 10 years ago, if you were into podcasting, you were some sort of maverick that maybe wasn't really betting on a big future there, but it blew up. And who brought it to this platform, to this global platform where you have free speech, free thinking, and where billions of people download these podcasts every week? It was the Joe Rogan Experience. And he was the first to create a billion-dollar industry with Spotify together, right? So this was a 9-figure deal. 9 figures, for those who don't know, that's a lot of zeros. It's 100 million. And it was the first podcast to ever reach 1.5 billion downloads. And inspired a $3 billion podcasting industry through ad revenues and the next generation of creators, right? The Lex Fridmans of the world. And I bring this to you because we have to ask ourselves the question in crypto, in Web3 community building, what are these overlooked opportunities today, right? Where should I invest for my audience building so that I can capitalize on it in the future, right? And I bring to you next a few platforms that we're all familiar with when it comes to audience building in crypto. It's 4 that I selected, heavily biased, of course, because I didn't include Snapchat, TikTok, and all those other ones. But I brought these to you today because we're all familiar with them. And we can really dissect them according to what is this user base that we're getting our audience from here. We can look at what are the channels to connect with our audience. Is it text? Is it audio? Is it more? And we can look at it in terms of crypto friendliness, right? Will my investment pay off if I build in Web3? Are they positive towards Web3, which is not a given these days? And then, of course, we have Telegram here. 55 million in daily active users. We have text, audio, and video that you can interact with your audience with. I put the crypto friendliness here in terms of a 3. I think they did some stuff with selling handles on the blockchain, but I'm not sure if that ever went past proof of concept. But, Telegram has been a crypto darling for a while and will likely stay that. Let's look at the next one here, Discord. It's at an entirely different step of the funnel. It's more mid to bottom of the funnel. 26 million users that use Discord. Also text, audio, and video, but crypto friendliness doesn't score quite as high. I think they really capitulated towards the crowd that says, oh, cryptos and NFTs are bad for the environment. And that's not something that I see a lot of potential long-term with in terms of integrating more blockchain into Discord. But, of course, very necessary at the moment. Next one up there, everyone, it's the talk of the town, Threads by Meta. Who of you downloaded Threads last week? It's not out in Europe yet, that's probably why. I'm pretty bearish on Threads from the crypto friendliness aspect. I think last time I heard about Zuck's crypto plans, he wanted to take a 30% take rate of you as a creator when you create digital assets for their metaverse. That's not something that we want or stand for, I think, as an industry. So we'll see, and it's only currently available with text communication. And that leaves us with Twitter. The big guys, 350 million daily active users, just got taken over by Elon Musk. That means a renewed focus in terms of free speech. That means a lot of experimentation. A lot of shit won't work. Some shit will. And this is where we're at. We have integrated Bitcoin currently. They have integrated Bitcoin tipping into Twitter. The Ethereum blockchain, you can show your PFP NFT. If you have a Bored Ape, it'll be a hexagon. So that makes us a little bit more bullish about building audience on Twitter. And what I'm going to posit with you here today is one thing. And that thing is that Twitter with Twitter Spaces will do to live audio what Spotify did to podcasting. I'm going to repeat that again. Twitter with Twitter Spaces will do to live audio what Spotify did to podcasting. And let's look at the little use case. Let's look at a little case study from not too long ago whereby the community globally gravitated towards live audio to look for the truth, to look for a trusted voice when it comes to current events. Those current events were the Russia coup. I'm not sure if any one of you know this profile picture? Okay, cool. This is what we call a citizen journalist, so someone who is Mario Nafal, by the way, who reported on the Russia coup live for many, many hours and got a set of hundreds of speakers up on stage to discuss the news, you know, with pros and cons, and everyone got their takes. And one could argue that it is a bit more balanced than the mainstream media. And the mainstream media, if we talk about the numbers there, I'm not sure if you know this, but one could say they're dying. In terms of millions of users, of views and attention, it's nowhere near where it was, okay? Of course, they still command the dollars and the money is still there, but the attention is heavily moving towards decentralization. And we're excited about that, and we should be excited about that. And here's some tweets that I put down. We have the numbers here. You see 17.3 million tuned in to a Twitter space that was just 2 weeks ago. Elon retweeted. And this was sort of a first, because the CNN or broadcast news weekly audience numbers, they're in the millions, so this technically beat it, right? So what you could say that the death of mainstream media is imminent. And we have to ask ourselves the question, what does this mean for Web3? And I've been spending so many hours on Twitter Spaces, I can't even tell you. Over time, I got a little bit fed up because I didn't know who was I connecting with. I had limited data. I didn't know who were my fans. And if we look back at the analogy with Spotify, the top 100 podcasts on Spotify, they get massive sponsorship deals, right? So let's think the top 100 Twitter Spaces hosts, what do they get in terms of sponsorship deals? We don't know. No one knows. Because there was no top 100. There was nothing like it. And so I got so frustrated by this that I put a team together, and we've built the first top 100 leaderboard for hosts in Web3 on Twitter Spaces. We've integrated over 3 million profiles from Twitter Spaces, did an API-level connection, and really got some intelligence, right? We found out that there's over 100,000 speakers in Web3 that are excited to share their opinions and thoughts about Web3 brands and communities. We found out there's 30,000 plus hosts that are excited to host for 40 hours plus every week to be the voice and be the place where the community gathers. And if you go on superspace.ai today, you will see this leaderboard that we went to market with, because we believe in a future where there is games being played, positive-sum games, where you as a user, you as a fan of a brand or a creator, you'll be able to have amazing experiences and collect rewards because of it, right? Your attention gets rewarded, your contributions get rewarded. The number one secret, the one secret that I want to bring to you today is trust. People gravitate towards Twitter Spaces, towards live audio because of trust. And we believe that voice is a massively undervalued tool for community building, okay? Of course, if you dox your voice, that builds a much deeper connection than a lot of other stuff. And oftentimes you might want to dox your face on video, but how much do you have to spend on production? You have to put makeup on, you have to prepare yourself. But everyone picks up the phone every day to go call, right? So you can do that as a more low risk and easier way to enter. And this is why we're so excited about it. And we've asked our community, is it a red flag for you if a project founder has never shown up on their Discord voice chat or Twitter Spaces? This was polled with over 1,000 people, and the results are really speaking for themselves. So 93% actually say they want that voice to be doxed, right? And so how can we find the voices within our community to work with them? This is the leaderboard that I was talking about that we brought to market. And it scores a space based on audience engagement data. And it's an easy way for you to filter and search per blockchain. If you love Bitcoin ordinals, you type in Bitcoin, you'll find it. If you want to work with certain influencers, this is a great resource where you can see who's live right now and really focused on crypto. And what's funny about Twitter Spaces is people who leverage trends and current news, they come out on top. They scored the highest on our leaderboards. And this is an example of how we rallied the Pepe community with some user-generated content. I don't know if you guys know about the Pepe meme coin that came out in the last weeks. It was a crazy moment where you had the whole of Latin America join into crypto and being onboarded just because of a coin called Pepe. It was beautiful, beautiful sight to behold. And the highest scoring spaces back-to-back were only Pepe spaces. And everyone else who was carefully preparing content and AMAs, they scored a lot lower, but the ones who were just vibing up on stage and sharing Pepe vibes with the green frog, they got thousands of people in there, and it was amazing to see. And so we shouted out the top 3 of the influencers here. And yeah, to this day, we go community by community, and you'll be able to see who you want to connect with there very granularly. Now let's play this forward. I mentioned this before. We believe in a future where brand and creator communities will be able to connect with their audience and will be able to reward them based on their contributions, much like an MMORPG. So there was a brand that reached out to us, and he said, hey, you have all this intelligence about Twitter Spaces. Can we work together to build an army of raving fans, of spokespeople, and really dominate the mindshare on Twitter Spaces together? And that brand, you might know it, it's Polygon, and we ran a campaign with them called The Voice of Polygon. And that was very exciting because we saw a brand taking this very, very seriously and investing into a medium that others are still sleeping on. And the proposition was very simple. Can we do 30 days? We put up a top 3 rewards for the best performing influencers and content creators on Twitter Spaces to actually get paid jobs and to make a career, make a living in this platform, right? Can you be the voice of Polygon with the spaces that you host? And we've had amazing numbers where we activated over 500 creators. We really 10x or even 20x the amount of Polygon themed spaces here. So that creates a lot of mindshare for the community. And just the audience numbers and paid ambassadors and even organic ambassadorship really went through the roof. And this is the second secret that I actually want to share with you. Give before you take. And this is where our Web3 integration into our platform comes into play. We really believe that free NFTs as loyalty rewards are what can give you a community of raving fans and can enable you to create an on-chain connection with your audience, which gives you so much more insight over what's happening, right? What are they holding? What are they investing in, right? When are they active on-chain? Those are things that you want to know with your audience. And so that's why we integrated 4 blockchains, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, Binance, to create a rewards protocol that's designed for Twitter Spaces. We call it TOAP, the Tokens of Appreciation Protocol. It's very simple. I can say, if you want to come to my space 5 times in a row, I can award you with a free collectible. You come and claim it gas-free because I can sponsor it for you. And then together we are connected on chain and on Twitter Spaces, and we can play more fun and more long-term games together. And we're really excited to see what creators come up with when it comes to this new medium. And if you are in the audience and you liked a little bit of what we just talked about today and you're a little bit inspired, just reach out. Let's host a space together. Let's get you a little bit deeper into this world so that you're ahead of the trend of the next opportunity that is live audio on Twitter Spaces. And that is my talk for the day. I hope you learned something. I hope you're excited. And if you want to connect and host a space with me, this is the contact. Don't be hesitant to reach out. And we're excited to be here. Thank you so much, Algarve.